This episode of The Rest is Football is powered by our new presenting partners, Fuse Energy. We're thrilled to welcome them to the team, especially outside the regular transfer window.
A new signing providing power and energy. That sounds like a bit of me back in the day, Gaz.
And reliable too, not one of those fair weather players who go missing in December.
Fuse will be powering The Rest is Football right through the season. They're one of the UK's fastest growing energy suppliers, building solar farms and helping homes make smarter choices. Power that performs throughout the season.
Fuse. Keep everything running, lights on, meters smart, cars charged. A full squad you can count on.
And when you sign up for their fixed rates, your energy prices hold their shape, even as the nights turn colder and the title race heats up.
The season is long, but with Fuse, the energy never drops. For more information about energy that hits the top corner every time, head to fuseenergy.com/football. And if you fancy getting involved, sign up with the code FOOTBALL for the chance to get a shout out on the pod and throw your own question at us next time. Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker. Micah is doing well. He goes every year, doesn't he, to Abu Dhabi for the Grand Prix, and we've not heard any word from him in the last couple of days. Hopefully, I'm sure he's having a good time.
I'd love to see this state of Big Meeks just at this minute. I really would. He's probably been on it all afternoon celebrating.
Absolutely. Lando Norris, of course, winning the World Championship. Well done. Congratulations
absolutely.
To him. Verstappen won the race, obviously, but anyway, we're not The Rest is Formula One. So we both went to watch a football match yesterday.
Yeah, I was at Newcastle and you were at Everton.
I was at Everton, both at former clubs.
Yeah,
I had a good time actually. It was really good. Peter Reid said I had to come up and see the new stadium, the Hill Dickinson, and I went up with my mate JD, and it was brilliant. What's a stadium? Have you been yet?
Impressive. I haven't been yet. No, I haven't. Obviously just seen it on television.
Honestly,
it looks
it's amazing.
Great, yeah.
And the acoustics inside, they've obviously done some work for the sound. And it was jumping in there. It was really good. Looked after us really well.
Great.
Saw a few faces I haven't seen for a few years, which was lovely. And all in all, we had a really good time. Good food.
And Everton were impressive, weren't
Everton were impressive. They won the game. Everybody was happy and joyous. It was good. I saw a few old friends. Trevor Stephen was there.
Brilliant.
Kevin Ratcliffe, our captain when I played there in the 80s. Obviously, Peter Reid. Andre Kanchelskis was there. I didn't play with him, of course, but former player. Dave Watson.
Yeah.
So there were lots of old players around, which was really good. So I enjoyed that. Thank you, Everton, for looking after us so wonderfully well. After the game, actually, we were trying to, from the director's box, trying to find a way out because we had to rush a little bit and walk to get to the station in time for the last train to London. And I kind of took a wrong turn, opened the door, and it was obviously where the corridor is outside the dressing rooms. And now I quickly shut the door. But then Jack Grealish comes running out and goes, "Hey, Gary!" So I look around. "Oh, hello, Jack!" And he's in just his undies and a pair of very short socks. We had a good chat. He wasn't happy with his performance.
Well, he won.
Well, exactly. But I said that's the time to do it. He was slightly off his game, and he said I couldn't pass it, but I'm going to say pass it for toffee, but it's probably with the toffees there. And then David Moyes came out, asked us in for a drink, but we. Bit tight for time. So all in all, a lovely day. And your team won as well.
Well, yeah. Well, I met Tony.
Tony, my business
Pastor,
partner.
Your business partner, And I met him, took him to a lovely pub in town called Harry's, and met him. I went with my son, and he came with his son because his son's at Edinburgh Uni. Yeah. So he got the train down to Newcastle. Tony got the train up to Newcastle from London, and the first thing he said is, "This is his third game in the week following Burnley. I think it was it Brentford last weekend. He went up to Burnley in midweek. I think they lost to Palace, was it?" He says, and he took his eldest son, his middle son on Tuesday, and he had his youngest son yesterday at Newcastle. He said, so 3 great days out. But 3 defeats. So we had a few pints before the game, and then we walked up to St James's Park, and I left him, and off he went. And then it was a little, I don't know, it was one of those games where it was a little bit flat beforehand.
I suppose you get a goal up and then there's a red card. It's sort of all over, isn't it?
Yeah, then
really,
they go 2-0 up with the Anthony Gordon penalty. It was a red card and it was a penalty. And then it was, I don't know, it was all, I guess, a bit easy. And then to be fair to Burnley, they did come back. They got a penalty themselves.
Well, they nearly sneaked off right at the death.
Right at the death. I mean, it was the last touch of the game. Goodness me, Newcastle got away with it. I mean, they deserved to win the game, Newcastle, but they were very, very nearly punished towards the end of the game. So, but a win's a win. Sets them nicely up for the Champions League in midweek, and then Sunderland next week away. Weekend.
Couple of big games coming up. Oh, hang on a minute. Micah is going to join us. And here he is! He's made it! We've not heard anything from him. Well, you took me by surprise there. I just saw Micah is trying to join. And I went,
wow.
Whoa! Look at you! Look at you! What are you wearing?
Oh, my God.
Where are you, in Miami or somewhere? Jeez, what's going on?
Lads, Abu Dhabi 2026. It's an absolute must. Wow.
We do the pod from there, shall we?
100%. It is unbelievable here. I've had one of the best days of my life.
Brilliant.
I know we've done some events. We've some amazing events. But F1 today in Abu Dhabi has been sensational.
Unlike your vest you're wearing.
Hey, it's hot. I've had a suit on all day. I'm hot. I'm winding down. I'm in the club with it. Well, it's not a club. I'm still, if you can see here, I'm still behind the scenes. But behind the scenes there.
Oh, you are.
And Skepta's got a little private party.
Oh.
The younger listeners and viewers will know who Skepta is. Ask H, he'll know who he is.
Skepta.
Skepta.
He's a rapper, isn't he?
Yeah, H has just told you. I can hear him.
Of course he has.
How are the lads? How are the lads?
We're good. We were just talking about our... we hadn't really actually started the episode. It was good timing, apart from the fact that we discussed we both went to games yesterday. We both enjoyed them, but probably not as much as you are enjoying Abu Dhabi. And those shades, Micah, they're massive, man. They're massive.
I feel like Kanye West. Look at this.
Get me a pint of what you've had, by the way. You are rocking.
I've not had one drink.
Never.
Not one. I'm on the water all night.
Wow.
Well, thanks for joining us, Mike. Great effort. We left you about 100 voice memos and messages and everything.
Sorry, guys. I've been busy all day. I've seen some of the results, though. Wowzers, what's going on?
I know. Right, let's talk about the first bite delivered by Uber Eats, and it has to be Liverpool's 6-goal thriller with Leeds. I know you've only joined on this to do your song, Micah, so get it out of the way, because your signal's going in and out a little bit. Go on, here we go.
Marching on together, we're gonna see you win. La, 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 la. We are so proud. We're shouting out loud, we love you, Leeds. Hello, mate, how you doing? Are you a Leeds fan? Get yourself in here. Come on. I'm with the chaps here. Gary and Alan, Leeds.
Who have you got with you?
Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Bradley.
How are you doing?
Bradley, what do you do?
I work as a parts coordinator.
Yeah?
And we're just going to have a big night.
Are you going to have a big night? Well, you...
We've had a good season. So,
yeah?
Yes.
Congratulations on the
Leeds
season.
had a good result yesterday.
Yes.
Beat Chelsea in the week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
great week for the Leeds.
Great week.
Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Well done, Bradley. Bradley's got a mention. Leeds. Brilliant. Have you seen any football at all this weekend, Micah?
I've seen nothing. Absolute zilch.
He's been on the back of camels. He's been water skiing. He's been doing everything. That poor camel.
Honest to God. The scariest thing I've ever done in my life. You know, like when you're going up, it feels like you're going on a roller coaster, and then to get it down, it feels like it's going to snap his legs. Big Meeks in the desert. I'm not too sure about that.
It fucking would do with you on its back, that's for sure.
I bet it had the right hump. The oldest joke in the world. Sorry, lads. That was appalling. One thing we can talk about, even though you've not seen games, is obviously Liverpool didn't win again. That late equaliser from Leeds, coming back from 2 down as well in the game. But the big story, of course, is the post-match reaction of Mo Salah, who's been left out of 3 games, didn't get any minutes at all. He said that he's clearly very unhappy. He's got no relationship with Arne Slot at the moment, unlike last season. He feels like he's the one they want to blame, and he's clearly pissed off. There's no question about that. I suppose there are a few things to pick at here. Is one, Mo Salah has given an awful lot to Liverpool. He's been incredible, like he said himself, and he said he loves the club and always will love the club. But it's now made it a very difficult position. I mean, obviously, he's got the African Cup of Nations that he'll be off for a month anyway. Maybe things will calm down. I can understand why he's got the hump. I can understand why he's really angry and upset, because I think I would be, and I know Alan would be. And Alan had a sort of similar thing. My only take on Mo's side, although I'm with him in terms of the fact that I think for what he's done, he should probably have been given a little bit more respect by the manager, I would say. And certainly when Leeds came back to 2-2, I was shocked he didn't go on. But that apart, I just think to do it publicly, I think was a little unwise.
I get his frustration. I get his anger. And I totally understand the way he will be feeling. Similar situation with myself when when Ruud Gullit left me out and wanted me out of the club.
You didn't say anything publicly though, Alan, did you?
No, I didn't. I don't think you can, Gary. I think that's why he's got it sort of wrong on this occasion. I mean, Mo Salah has been unbelievable for the football club. There's only 2 players scored more goals than him than that football club, and for what he's done, and I get how he may look at it, but the bigger picture is the football club. And no one, I don't care who you are, is bigger than the club. And it's a really difficult situation going forward for Liverpool, for the manager, for him. It's probably best he does go away at the African Cup of Nations to try and clear his head and start games again and try to get his frustration out, and then hopefully he can come back into a more settled situation if Liverpool start winning. But what I would also say is the manager has got a choice of who to play. And if he chooses not to play you, like Ruud Gullit did the same with me, but then that is the case, then the manager has to then win matches. And I know they won at West Ham, but their 2 last results, Leeds and Sunderland, haven't been good enough at all. So when he does leave big players out, the manager has to get the results that he needs to justify that. So, and at the minute they're not getting them. So it's a very, very difficult situation for Liverpool. But he shouldn't come out and say those things that he has done.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a very difficult situation, isn't it? Because he doesn't do many interviews, Salah. And if you're looking at it from a Liverpool fan's point of view, like he started talking before the contract negotiations, and then he started talking when he wasn't playing. So I agree with Al in terms of what he's done for Liverpool. He's been absolutely sensational. I just don't like these situations when they come out of the dressing room, and that's the bit that I don't like. I think Mo Salah is within his rights to say what he wants, but then he's got to deal with the consequences of that. But if you feel what he's done for the club, the manager not bringing him on, it shows a lack of respect to him. So, of course, it's one of those situations where there's certain players who, when they're in their pomp and they get into an age, they have an attitude to say, the next one's coming through, and I'm going to make it as easy as possible for the one to come through. With Salah, he still believes that he's the man to do that. Performances, I would say, haven't backed that up this season. I don't like the take that, Salah's not working out. Salah's never worked, but he was making the difference in games. At the moment, he's not making a difference. So they've got a decision to make. When he come out and had that interview, he's basically saying, it's me or the manager. He's saying to the board, I go or he goes. It's as simple as that. And I just think it's a sad ending to what last season we was all talking about. Mo Salah and new contract. He's got to sign. He's a good age. Give him 2 more years. But I have to agree with Alan. If the manager's not going to pick you, you have to accept that, because now Salah's putting himself before the team. And you come into football and you know it's a team game, and the manager ultimately has the final decision, which he has to live with. And it was just frustration coming out, wasn't it? And
it was.
You know, and I will always be on Salah's side, because he's done everything in his life to get to this point. However, you've made it a bigger issue than it needed to be, and now this could be solved in January. It could be resolved in the summer, but it's always going to be lingering until something happens, whether Slot goes or whether Salah goes. And that bit, I don't think it's right, because I think he should have put his team before himself in this situation.
I think we've all had similar circumstances, but I think yours is most apposite, Alan, because, I mean, what happened to you? How did you were clearly absolutely raging when you were left out Pullett's side. And I think that rather probably like Salah and Slot behind the scenes, the relationship is not working any longer. How did you actually deal with it and go about it? Because obviously it resulted in the day after, because he picked the side. You lost in that game, didn't you?
Yeah.
You didn't get on at all?
I got on. At
least you got on. But how did you deal with it in terms of what you said to Ruud Gullit and in terms of the public perception and everything?
Well, let me tell you first now. As you know, we're actually really good friends now, me and Ruud, and we've spoken about it loads of times. But what happened was he left me out. Okay, I didn't agree with it, but he didn't tell me before the game. He just sort of put it on the board and didn't say a word. Okay, you've got to understand that and put up with it. He left Duncan Ferguson out as well, and it was against Sunderland at home, which obviously is a huge game. And then we got beaten on the night time, and then got home to hear on Match of the Day he had actually said. No one mentioned those two when we were winning 1-0. They were winning 1-0, and then Sunderland came back and scored. But he put me on when we were 2-1 down, and he said that we both cost the Newcastle the game at the end on television. So it was like that sort of added insult to it, you know.
He was the one who did you publicly.
Well, that's me and Duncan, yeah. So then I thought I've got to get the kids up as early as possible, take them into school early, which I did, and then I've got to go and give him what for in his office, and that's what I did. And I mean, Big Dunk beat me to it that morning. Actually, Big Dunk was in there before me, but a couple of days later, I mean, he chucked it. I think he dealt his hand that night. You know, I knew that he wanted to get rid of me, and if Newcastle had won that night, then I was gone. I would have had to have left the football club. And he dealt his hand that night, unfortunately.
How old were you then, Alan?
So it would have been 1999. So I would have been 28.
In your prime. Why did he want rid of you?
I just think it was a clash of egos, I guess. I don't know. I was still England captain. I was still playing for England. So we knew that we didn't get on, and we openly admitted that, you know. And it wasn't just me. I think he'd put Rob Lee, John Barnes, Warren Barton, Ian Rush into the reserves as well, and not training with the first team. So it was a difficult situation for me. And obviously for him, but we lost the game, and then I think a couple of days later he either resigned or he'd been sacked. I'm not quite sure.
I had something similar in Barcelona with Johan Cruyff. Yeah, there's a common denominator here.
Go on. Dutch
managers. All three of them are Dutch, and I sort of got his position. I mean, he came in my last season. I'd had hepatitis. I didn't play, I don't think, until November. And when I came in, I mean, he played this. I mean, he was a brilliant coach. I love I learnt so much from him, but he kept playing me right wing, really on the touchline all the time. And I understood it because you're only allowed 2 foreign players, and he was trying to piss me off so that I'd throw a tantrum, a little bit like Mo has done. But I actually saw through what he was trying to do, like you did perhaps with Rude. Yeah. And I thought, he wants me to have a tantrum, then the fans will turn against me. So I just kept saying, no, if he wants me to play there, I'll play there. I'll work really hard, blah, blah, blah. And then we played Real Madrid, right, in a Clasico. And he made a mistake here because for the first time, he actually left me out the side completely and put me on the bench. And against Madrid, in the 3 games that we played at the Nou Camp, I scored, obviously, the hat-trick, which I very rarely mention. And also in the other 2 games that we played there, I got the winning goal in both games. So they used to, call me like Madrid's bogeyman at that point. And he left me out. He left me out completely, and the crowd went, and they started singing my name and all this stuff. Anyway, comes about 8 minutes to go, and he's put this sub on, another sub on, and I'm still going, get me on. And I actually did snap for the one and only time probably I can remember. And I did it in Spanish, but I just said, you haven't got the bollocks to put me on there now. And he just looked the other way. But I didn't do anything publicly because I didn't, and that actually worked in my favour in terms of the affinity, the mutual affinity with the Barcelona fans. But you get times in your life. So I understand how angry he was. And I think he's got a point, by the way. I think a player's done that much, been so consistent. The first bad spell he has really for the club, the first real bad spell. That's when you need a manager's support and his loyalty. And you need them to help you under those circumstances. And that's the time you can say thank you for everything that you've done and also, if the team's not playing very well, it's generally the guys up front that struggle. So I think Mo's absolutely right with what he's saying. I don't think Slot's handled it very well. I just can't understand why he didn't put him on. There's probably, I would imagine there's been a bit of something behind the scenes. I don't know. But I think he deserved, I think he's right what he says almost, Mo Salah, but I think he'd have been wiser if he kept his counsel.
Totally agree with that. But don't forget, remember, it happened with Ronaldo. Yeah. When Ronaldo come back.
Of course.
And he left early, these players, this is going to happen. I probably agree with you, Gaz, on that, but it could have been dealt with better. You know what you've got in the squad.
Yeah.
And people always say you've got to treat everyone the same. You can't. You guys are the superstars of the team. You need to treat you guys a little bit better. I don't necessarily agree with what he's done in the past because it's the here and now. End of the day, the manager's he's under pressure. He has to pick the team that he feels going to get him a result, But the trouble is, it's hands and for him in that way. Exactly that, and that is the conundrum that the manager's got. He's not getting results, and he's got Mo Salah on the bench, which is the problem.
Tell you what would be really interesting is that they got Inter Milan on Tuesday. I'm doing that. I'm not doing that game for Amazon. The Core-Coms in Milan, and then obviously they got Brighton next weekend. I think it'll be fascinating to see whether he plays him or not. Yeah, look, it's not a good situation for Mo Salah, and it's the last thing that Liverpool needed or wanted in their current situation. The way they're playing, the way the results are for them at this moment, how many mistakes, how many players are having a poor season. That's the last thing.
Would you play him?
Yeah, I would. The manager has to have a chat with him, and a lot depends on what comes out of that chat. But if, as he has done in every season he's been at Liverpool, and everything's right, and he feels loved, and he feels as if that he can go out there and do his thing, then I would play him, because he's going to be angry and he's going to be hurt and he'll want to make a point. And if he does play him, he then has to make a point. He has to perform and he has to score after what he's done if the manager does decide to put him back in.
He's Liverpool's best goal scorer, isn't he? So although he's not doing the bits that the manager wants, maybe off the ball, and don't forget the manager had that interview saying he told him to stay a little bit higher. The difference is he's not scoring as much as we usually see him score, but he's still the most devastating finisher they have. So, I would still play him.
Yeah, although Ekitike is the one signing, he's the one kind of real plus point probably for Liverpool this season. So just a point for them, great point for Leeds. Well, that was the first bite delivered by Uber Eats. Let's move on to, well, all of a sudden, things are looking a bit tight at the top again. We were a couple of weeks ago, we were going, Arsenal might run away with this. And, well, not quite so much. What a thrilling finale to that game. And that last minute scramble and then eventually Buendia knocking it in. There was a big, I was in the boardroom at Everton at the time and the Forest, there was a Forest lot there, and we were there as well. The whole room kind of jumped up. I mean, I think it was just I've got to tell you this one story because I got into the at the end of the game when we were leaving. I think we're on the third floor and there's a lift, and we were talking. I think it was the Forest chairman. I think it was the chairman, not the owner, the chairman. And we're in the lift with a couple of us, and as we got in, the sound system in the lift went, going down, and the chairman went, "Oh no!" It was quite funny. I mean, he took it with a bit of a sense of humour. It was quite the moment. But Villa. Wow. Let's start with Villa before we get to Arsenal. But Villa, 9 wins in 10, isn't it now? And
unbelievable.
Hot on the heels of Arsenal.
Outstanding. They were outstanding. I mean, it was a great game. It really was a end to end and loads to talk about. But Villa, wow! I mean, they've got so many impressive performances yesterday. They were brilliant all over the pitch. They gave Arsenal a right good game. Really, really enjoyed it. And do we have to talk about Villa as title contenders now? Because no one's mentioned Villa for the title until
they're 3 points behind.
3 points behind Arsenal.
Yeah. And they were a long way behind. Don't forget, they didn't score, did they, in their first handful of matches?
Yeah.
Well, I've not seen any of these games, guys, so
I know
it's pointless me being on my pod. It really is, isn't it? I mean,
Micah, you go and party now and leave it to me now. But we do appreciate you making the effort, and just to see you looking so spectacularly fashionable. Is that a vest you're wearing? Is it?
Yeah, he's got a vest on.
Oh.
It's a little vest number, you know.
What a man!
It's hot.
Go
out here,
well, Big Meeks. Go well.
Have a good night. Behave yourself.
Have a good one. Wait, where's he going? He's actually in the fire. Whoa!
Yay!
Oh, you're a legend, mate.
Oh, there you go. Look who's there. Look who's there.
Double trouble, double trouble.
I'll see you later. Have a good one, lad.
See you later.
Are Villa title contenders? I think they have to be, don't they? I mean, in the same way that you dismiss it when it was Leicester, obviously that time miracles can happen. And I suppose in a way when Leicester won, there were slightly similar circumstances with, I would say, probably the exception of Arsenal. When Leicester won, all the teams, all the big clubs were going through a transitional phase. Yep. They weren't that great. Now, I would say this season, we've seen what's been happening with Liverpool. I still think City are a work in progress in terms of getting back where they were. Arsenal, I mean, losing away at Villa, Villa are really good. That can happen, and that last minute thing. But this will be a little test of, what they're made of, because their lead's now been cut quite dramatically. They were looking pretty comfortable. It certainly makes the league interesting. Yep. You don't want anyone running away with it like last season. Yeah, look, I don't think they will win it, but they have to have put themselves into the conversation, Aston Villa. I don't expect their brilliant run to continue. I mean, I don't know, but you have to talk about them because of the way they're playing, the results they're getting, and how consistent they've been. That's one of the impressive things, is that after their start to the season, how massively they've improved, and how they went about their business yesterday against Arsenal. No, Arsenal had injuries and 2 centre-halves missing and all of that, but Aston Villa put in a top performance against a top team yesterday, and that's why you have to have them in the conversation. Yeah, totally agree. And Unai, it's probably about time we actually pronounce his name properly because he's doing so well. Unai Emery. Unai Emery. Yeah,
Emery.
Because, the emphasis is over the middle E. It's not Emery. It's Emery.
Okay.
So we'll try and do that I'll probably forget by next time. But because he's done so well.
Brilliant.
But tactically, he's bloody good, isn't he?
Yeah, and they've got some good players, guys. I mean, Ollie Watkins was a handful. Morgan Rogers. Tielemans, I thought, was excellent.
Outstanding, wasn't he? I think Danny Murphy did a lot around that on the match of the day. I watched the repeat this morning, and he was really good.
Matty Cash obviously getting forward and getting his goal. So, they've got some good players in that team, Aston Villa, and he's done what a job he's done. Yeah. Incredible.
Arsenal, there's always going to be some point where you stutter a fraction. I mean, the fact that they have got backup central defenders is just as well, and they're obviously good ones, but it's hard to replace, Gabriel and Saliba. I mean, that's as good as it gets, isn't it?
Whoever you're bringing in, whether that's Nketiah or whether it's Mosquera or whether it's Timber, they're not Gabriel or Saliba, and so you are going to be slightly weaker, and Arsenal are. But it's a setback. You're not going to win every game in the season. They've got to reset themselves and go again next weekend, and I think that's what they'll do.
Yeah, no time to panic.
No, not at all. No.
None whatsoever.
Not at all.
We'll take a break now, Alan, and when we come back, we'll talk about some of the other games we've watched over the weekend, and a little word at the end on the World Cup draw that is probably still going on. Back in a minute.
This episode is brought to you by Barclays.
That's right, because this year they're celebrating 25 years of supporting football. And let me tell you, they truly have made a difference.
And don't forget, they ended up being the biggest ever commercial investors in UK women's sport when they started sponsoring the Barclays Women's Super League.
But it's not all about the big leagues, is it, lads? There's no football without grassroots football.
Well, that's right. I mean, we wouldn't have had the careers that we've had, guys. Not one of us, would they, without grassroots football. That's where it all started, the love of the game.
If I went back to Ayleston Park Football Club, which is where I started to play, and all the lads were playing and the girls were playing all across everywhere. And it was so beautiful to see all these young people. One little lad came up to me, must have been about 9 or 10, and he came over to me, he went, "My granddad used to play with you." Now that really is grassroots stuff. It's why Barclays has invested millions into grassroots programs and community initiatives to give opportunities in football to those who need it most. Search Barclays Football to find out more. Welcome back to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, me, Gary Lineker, Micah. Lord knows where he is by now and what he's up to with the boy Lescott. But anyway, I'm sure they're clearly having a great time.
Absolutely.
We're talking about the title race, and you asked the question. Are Aston Villa in contention? Are Crystal Palace? I mean, I've just watched. Mark gave injury time header, got between the two defenders to nod one in. I mean, I think European football will probably catch up with them a little bit, but I think they're doing brilliantly. 4th place. Is it possible they could even get a Champions League spot? That would be...
Well, that's more realistic than title talk with,
I know.
with Crystal Palace. Yeah. But well, I mean, what a brilliant result. What a brilliant season. What a brilliant manager.
Yeah.
I mean, winning the way they did last season, the Cup, and going again this season like they are, they're good to watch as well. Yeah. And again, like I said with Villa, they've got some fantastic players in there. I mean, they did really well keeping hold of Gay in whatever circumstance the manager was. And also, he had his little rant, didn't he, last week, the manager, when he was on about not backing him up in terms of bringing more players in the summer. I think ultimately that may catch up with them in the end, because I think they're a very, very good 11 or 12, maybe 13. But once you get through that, which will happen, I guess, because of the injuries, then...
Torre is a bit. Munoz was out today, wasn't he?
But they still won. I mean, still get a great result. So ultimately, I think that may catch up with them, but that doesn't take anything away from what they're doing and who they're beating and how they're doing it and how impressive they're looking.
Yeah. I mean, Fulham thought they'd gone 2-1 up at one point, but it was marginally offside. And there's also looked like might have had a little look at handball before, but that's irrelevant. But we can't mention that game without mentioning the Harry Wilson goal.
Oh, wow.
I mean, wow. What a 1-2 that was. And what the finish for the outs. I mean, for me, I've not seen a better goal this season in the Premier League than that. Have you?
Well, it's not just the finish was like, it was the little one touch around the corner and getting it back and then the finish.
It was Messi-esque.
Yeah, it was, I mean, to guide that in the way he did and the bend and all of that, the outside of the boot, it was ridiculous, wasn't it? It was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable strike.
It really was. Manchester City beat your close neighbours, Sunderland, by 3 goals. We interviewed Erling Haaland on Friday. That episode will be with you on Wednesday. Kind of commemorate 100 goals for Manchester City in the Premier League, beating Al's record. So the two of us went up there to Manchester and they looked after us really well. Erling was great.
Wasn't he, Erling?
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was fantastic. Yeah. What a guy.
Yeah,
really. I mean, I know I've met him before and interviewed him before, but the more I see of him and the more I talk to him, the more impressed I am of who and what he is.
Yeah, he's a proper professional as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see he lives and breathes scoring goals. It's nice to have that conversation, particularly about goal scoring as much as anything else, and how he thinks and how he plans and how he moves and all those things. He didn't score against Sunderland, which was a shame because he said, I'll perhaps do your celebration as it's Sunderland if I score. and then I was gutted he didn't score. I just wanted him to do that celebration.
Me too. He had one off. I think he had one off the line.
He had a great chance,
Yeah, he had one off the line. Yeah,
one off the line, but it wasn't to be. Another goal from Phil Foden that was created by Rabona from Turkey, wasn't it? And,
wow.
And did you see the interview after the game where Pep was asked about it and he said, and he didn't want to give him any credit. I think Pep's thinking, you shouldn't be doing that shit, mate. I mean, as football fans, though, we love all that stuff. We love a little bit of skill. I mean, Pep's point was, all right, okay, it's fine when it works, but if it doesn't, I think he was trying to make the point that the seriously great players don't do that kind of stuff.
I wouldn't even attempt that because I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd make a right tit in myself trying to even do it.
We did that plenty of times without trying to do it.
That's true, yeah. It was a great piece of skill, I guess, and a superb header from Phil Foden. Turkey was brilliant in the game from what I saw, and it's turned out to be a great weekend, hasn't it, for City, with Arsenal the result and them winning. So good. They played well. Very
much in the title race. Great goal from Ruben Diaz as well. Worth a shout. It's a bit of a thunderbolt. Before we go, I want to talk a little bit about the World Cup. Obviously, what it means perhaps for England and Scotland, and who knows if one of the other two of the home nations or Ireland make it. So, firstly, though, oh my word, the draw itself. I mean, honestly, it was so cringe and it was so long and it was so weird.
It was, wasn't it? I think I watched the first 20 or 25 minutes and thought, I can't watch any more of this. I just got the games and who England were playing through on my phone. I couldn't watch any more of it.
Oh, it was so bad. Why do they just get on with the draw? It's always now. They get longer and longer and you've got people singing and this and then. Don't get me started on the, what was it, the FIFA Peace Award or something. But anyway, I won't go down that route.
I listened to Thomas Tuchel's interview afterwards.
He was the same.
The
you could
question
tell.
I put to him, he said, what did you think of it? He said, well, something along the lines of, I don't think all the stuff is necessary. They could just do a draw, but I guess he understands what it's about.
I think he's exactly where we are on that one, Alan.
Yeah.
Imagine being in that audience all that time and waiting for your team. You think, when is it ever? I thought Jonathan Pearce's bit of commentary was brilliant, where he just said, I hope they finish this draw before the first game kicks off. I thought, well done, brilliant. Absolutely good. Brilliant and dry. For England, though, I think it looks like an East Coast, most of the games we played there, which is great news, I would say, for us back here in England. Well, we won't be here. We'll be in New York doing our show for Netflix and our podcast throughout the entirety of the tournament. But the fact it's all on the East Coast, obviously it's only 5 hours difference rather than 8 hours difference on the other coast. So in terms of watching the matches, I think most of them would be like 10, 11 o'clock in the evening, something like that. But a toughish draw, but should be fine. Scotland, Brazil, what a game to look forward to there.
you only really have to win one game to get through, I guess, don't you? Because I think it's 3 teams that go through out of the group, so you probably only have to win one game to get through. But I guess the importance of winning it, but then that could become a tougher draw.
The top 2 from each group will go through out of the 12 groups. That's 24 teams. And then there's another 8 of the third place teams out of the 12 teams that will finish in third place. So you're pretty assured of going through in third. Let's put it this way. For a big footballing nation, it will be very difficult not to qualify. And it's not like before where it goes to a last 32. Normally, of course, in all the other tournaments, it goes to a last 16. So it's a lot more matches.
It's a decent draw for England. Could have been easier, could have been tougher. So I think it's okay. It's a tough start in Croatia, playing them. So, and then Ghana, isn't it? So,
yep.
I think it's okay. England should have enough to,
Yeah, Panama's the other side, who obviously beat in the World Cup before, didn't we? And Harry got a hat-trick on his way to winning the Golden Boot. So, so I think it's a decent draw. I think it's quite an exciting draw for Scotland and their fans. I think playing Brazil, I mean, that's I remember them playing Brazil before. I think Jimmy Hill got himself in trouble by calling the Scottish goal a toe punt. You can always get yourself in trouble on telly, that's for sure. But we've got plenty of time to look at the draw and what it might. I mean, people are already doing what if they win that group and they win the group and this and that. They'll end up playing Brazil in the quarterfinals and this. But I know there's so many matches to go. Though we all know those things never quite pan out as you think they will. So make sure you tune in on Wednesday as well for the Erling Haaland interview. I think you'll really enjoy that. But for now, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. Have a great week, everyone.